Aunty Tina Brown joins us now. She's going to remind us of how those stories always were, are and will be. Welcome to you, Aunty Tina.
Good afternoon to you all, and thank you very much for your beautiful welcome and acknowledging country. Yeah, and to you all, I'm not sure if you're all here Wednesday, and I think some of them, Kath said some have joined in yesterday and today. So, going off from Wednesday, I've got to say to the group that were here, that story wasn't finished, so it needs to be continued. So if you don't mind, I'll just sort of go back a little bit and talk to the other ones that are new faces here now. Is it making me nervous? Yeah. Anyways, my name is Tina Brown, and I'm a proud Ngunnawal woman and a senior knowledge holder here on country. And my family have lived here all our lives. And just outside out here, before you come into the building, there's a big art feature on the ground, and it's a story of Ngunnawal. And my father was he was very well committed to ANU and did a lot of different projects here at ANU, and so that's one of them out there. And that's a very good resource there about teaching and looking at that now. I stopped out there on the way in, and it gave me, I'm going to stop being nervous, it gave me the stories that I'm going to talk about, and how all those things relate, and how we can further learn and teach our young people, and how I grew up as well. Anyway, so back to that story of our creation story. And so my father, who is the highest spirit, and he's the big creator of everything, and he's there in the dream time. My father, I can't say his name and that, and anyway, so he was far up in these mountains at Mount Kosciuszko, just behind Timbabilla and the Magic National Parks. And my father up there, because he's in the ground, you see, and so anyways, he's up there and he can't leave this place because it's so spiritual, and that's what he's got to do, because someone's always wanted to come and attack and take over and conquer, so that we've always had that around. Anyway, so my father's up there, and he calls out to Malian. We all say Malian. Malian, yep. Malian, she is the wedge-tailed eagle, and she is the totem for the Ngunnawal nations. And Malian, she's a woman, and we say that women are the teachers too within, and also the men as well. But the women are with the children more longer than the men is. So anyways, I'll get back to the story. So Malian, she's so strong and majestic and wise, and she's absolutely beautiful, you know. And she comes down to this beautiful place that we see at Timbabilla. You all know that place, hey? Yeah. Well, out there at Timbabilla, you see all these big, beautiful boulders and rocks, right? Well, they're all her beautiful eggs and all that, and the creation story that she's left behind that we see today. And in a very, got a ranger here to do, you know. And in the very secret valley there, and that we have a big stone feature, and it is Malian, and she's like this, and she looks down through the valley over Tuggeranong, all the way through here, all the way going out through the limestone plains. So anyways, Malian, she comes down there and she's here with all this magical dust on her feathers, and she's going around creating this beautiful place that we see, you know. Anyways, while she was there, this dingo come down from the Ngarigo country. And the Ngarigo country is just behind us, from the Ngunnawal nations, and he was a Mirigan. So Mirigan? So he's a white dingo. So that's the name. This is language too. We teach it at the same time. So when I think about language, we've got to think about all ways about teaching how we keep it in here, you know, from thousands of years ago. So anyways, she's there, and the Mirigan, he comes over, you know, he starts round with her, because he thinks that he should be the one that was selected for this process to be, you know, this teacher, this educator, this person, and this wisest person. Anyway, she looks at him, because she's a majestic woman. She doesn't say nothing. She goes like this with her dust, and this dust lands on his nose and on his face, and that takes away his talking, so he can't talk no more. So he's been taught, you know, not to be disrespectful, and about the learning processes and about welcome to country as well. So she hunted him, and back he went down there to the Ngarigo country. Anyway, so she was there, our majestic Malian, and she's swirling around, turning a big whirlwind out there, big cloud going up in the sky. And anyways, at night time, I don't know if you've been out there at night time, but yeah, there's a lovely blanket of stars over there. We call it the Milky Way, right? Well, anyways, that big blanket wasn't there before. It was just all open stars. So Molly Ann, she's there and she's whirling around and like this, and she goes whoosh, up into the sky, and all this beautiful dust, that's magic, all falls off her and creates this place again, puts those final touches on there. But she heads to a star up there in the sky, and this star, his name is Darren Moreland. We all know Darren Moreland. Darren Moreland, that's a Ngunnawal word as well. And Darren Moreland, he is a high star up in the sky, and here's a place that we want to go to for higher learning. So when we think about, learning and teaching people and that sort of thing, we want to talk about our higher learning. We want to go above and beyond and make sure that this person understands and that we understand. I see that people go past a lot of points in their life and they don't oh, shivers. Tina Turner. Stay over there. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying, but that's where we want to go to, this place of higher learning. So as she goes up high into the sky, she gets the dust and off it goes. And she creates this big, beautiful Milky Way, what we see every night, in Canberra. And that star up there, well, that star, that goes along with our law and our stories and all those different ceremonies for Ngunnawal country, all the people that come across through those big songlines across here. I could talk forever about different sorts of things, but I've got to keep it into the learning space of stuff. So anyways, we continue with the story now for the others that are here. So our father, high up there in the mountains, he calls out to Biami. We say, Biami. And we all know that Biami she's a beautiful woman too, and she's so majestic and wise and proud, and she's a woman and she's a teacher and creator, just like most of us in the room. So anyway, she develops these rivers, and the one main river that she makes is the Murrumbidgee. Say Murrumbidgee. The Murrumbidgee. Murrum means pathway, and Bidja means boss. So this is pathway of bosses, and these are teachers, right? Ancient teachers. And so this pathway, it goes all the way down into this Murray-Darling Basin, and there's 3 other rivers down there. So these 3 rivers that go that way all come from my father's heart. And for me, this is when I talk about higher learning, I talk about that from my father's heart and from my long learning, So let's think about all those things, and you can draw on this from other people's families and grandfathers and everything. It's all from the heart, the learning. I'm going to cry in a minute. Anyway, so Biami, she creates this big, beautiful pathway and journey, and of course, what we say, this is a songline as well. So this songline goes all the way down into that Murray-Darling Basin, into the corner of New South Wales. And when we have 3 rivers like that, this means a very special place. That fellas have travelled from far as Western Australia, and they've come along there, and there's all other meeting places along there going that way. One day we'll all go together and come back. But anyways, down there in that place where we have 3 rivers is a place where men come together. And that place, it always has a word that says, Yah. And so when we hear the word Yah, that's about the men, the big boss man, and that, and that's what he does. He does his Yah, and he's teaching. But like I said, the children are here, and they don't get passed over to this fella until they're much older, right? Anyway, just before I close off in ceremony here and welcome you all and just talk about that, just behind us over here, to the left over here, there's a soccer field, right? That's a yard area. And that's where our big bosses, they sat there too, and that's called a bora ring. So back in the day, this Ngambie Creek come down here, rightio, and flowed into the Molongli, we say Molongli, and it flowed into Molongli, and these are all the journeys and pathways and storylines and songlines and all teaching lines that bring us here to this place. And how uncanny is it that we have the ANU on top of this layer of ancient history. So again, welcome to the beautiful lands of the Ngunnawal. I will hang around for a little bit. I can talk about lots of different things, but I did say to Kathy that I will leave my contact details here, and so I'm welcome to come out to different, institutions or education places where you come from and sit down and work with you and go forward in that sort of cultural type learning and planning and bringing community together and building bridges and not blowing them up. Thank you. Thank you so much.